Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. Fuck ice. I'm your ever-loving host, Jorty. Going to review the Smart Division today, and you can probably tell from my tone of voice and my general demeanour that I'm not going to be giving this an absolute rave review. And I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not going to be able to do that because I really like this creative team. Zach Kaplan and John Pearson have worked well together in the past. They did Mindset, memories playing correct with me, and I like that one so much I literally bought it as a birthday present for a very good friend of mine. They are a great team, and it's not even that long ago. I think like last week reviewing the Patreon when I was saying how much I love John J. Pearson's artwork. Like, it is absolutely amazing. This is like another just amazing book from him, playing around a little bit more with comic book form, including moving slightly away from his trademark high detailed, looks like oil on canvas kind of art style, but doing it in ways which add to the story. We actually get to see different people presented in different ways, and it's beautiful from start to finish. There's nothing wrong with the artwork in any way, shape, or form. And also, Kaplan's a really good writer. I've read a bunch of his stuff, and I don't think I've been disappointed by anything. Maybe not like, raving to the rooftops about everything being, 10 out of 10s, but he's always interesting. He's always made me go back for more. And this was one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, okay, let's see what he does here. The fact that it's these two working well together, I'm going to get to see his wonderful story structure, the way he can do rise and falls of tension, put in mystery, backstabbing, have every character in the story be fully well realised, and all of this appears to be in there. Like, there is brilliant characterisation, there's an awful lot of mystery from the get-go. We get a really nice setup scene, but then we cut away from that to a whole bunch of other stuff, introducing other characters, and realizing that all these little snippets we're seeing of lives and events and actions are connected into a grander narrative. And this is all brilliant. This is the kind of stuff I love comic books for. But why am I not giving this an amazing review? Well, unfortunately, it does come a little bit down to just the whole propaganda of it all. And I'm not a big fan of propaganda. I think there is, interesting debates to be had in it. Go and watch Skip Intro's multiple YouTube videos about how this actually plays out in other media. It is a fascinating subject, and I think there is still an awful lot to be said about it. And I'm not the kind of person who's going to spend, their entire YouTube career or TikTok or whatever career talking about that kind of. I'm here to talk about comic books. But when propaganda rears its head to this degree, I can't help but notice it. Like, I read Witness Point, the new Nathan Fillion one the other day, and that's a very self-insert, lowbrow, entertaining, like, silly concept bit of propaganda. It's still, cops as good guys compared to the truth of the matter. But this goes, like, really far, really hard, really early, to the point that I was a handful of pages in, maybe before the halfway point, when if I had the ability to raise one eyebrow separate to the other, I would have raised it. Because one of our focus main characters, the two main ones being FBI agents, one of them goes undercover and ends up having sex with a suspect without revealing that they are an undercover officer, for an FBI agent, for obvious reasons. But that means that person doesn't have informed consent, which is a bit of a big deal. Like, I don't know where you are in the world when you're watching this video, but around these parts, there's been a whole thing about spy cop, sex scandal things happening. It's a long-term problem where, more often than not, plainclothes police officers will infiltrate left-wing groups and effectively lie to get into sexual relationships, sometimes having children with women, to basically undermine left-wing causes. This is like a ridiculously common thing to happen. There's been like shows about it, and to see this happen in a show, in a comic book where we're supposed to be thinking, okay, are these the good guys? They're here to solve the problem? And this is what happens very, very early on in the book. I mean, later on, we also find out the same agent is a big exponent of using AI to solve crimes. And that was another thing that was a bit like, okay, so we're just dealing with cops as bad guys then? Like, right, surely that's the point of the comic. But then I got to the end, or near the end, and it's like, oh, right, okay, so no, it turns out there is some other AI which has been set up to be the perfect criminal mastermind, and some good AI which is supposed to stop crimes keeps getting beaten by it, and it's going to become this thing of like, well, is AI going to stop crime or be the one that's responsible for crime? But it feels like we're supposed to side with the agents who are trying to use the good AI to stop crime. And it's just frustrating, because one thing I will say about Kaplan, which is a huge thing in his favour, is he's a fantastic futurist writer. Mindset is a brilliant example of this, and there's been a whole bunch of other stuff where I can I've reminded myself of stuff that he's done where he's gone in this kind of route, and I'd love him for it. He's really, really good at it. But in this particular case, doing propaganda and pro AI, or at least pro AI and propaganda in the first issue, it's kind of turned me off it. Now, could be that this is all a double bluff. I'm going to get like a really nice payoff, and I'll have been completely wrong about it. And if I am completely wrong, fine. I'm never going to deny that that's a possibility, and I'm never going to lie about it and say that I had other opinions. This is me literally speaking to camera and telling you what I'm thinking. If it turns out I'm wrong, and we get to the end of this arc, and I've demonstrably proven wrong, I will apologise 100%. But for now, I'm just disappointed. That's it for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after yourself, everyone. Stay safe.